How our tests were done. Hi. If you're like me, you'll have read quite a few reviews where people have tested these plastic balls in controlled situations, or they've had a quick knock when a friend's brought one down. But what we really wanted to know as a league was when the pressure was on, when you're concentrating on winning, not on how a ball is bouncing or spinning, how would this Joola Super P 40 Plus plastic ball compare to a Joola Super 40 celluloid one? To test this, I asked players playing in the decisive last round of our summer league if they minded playing games 1, 3 and 5 with a celluloid ball and games 2 and 4 with Joola's plastic ball. This way the players would get to play against the same opponents using both types of balls, and that would make a direct comparison easier. It also gave me the added bonus of ensuring continuity when editing the footage, as I'd only need to check the scoreboard to know which ball was being used at any given time. Players' experience ranged from playing table tennis for just a couple of years to many years. Some players had played British National League standard, others county or town team standard. Some have played in British Grand Prix events, others have never played higher than Division 2 in our local league. And the equipment used included long pimples, inverted, short pimples, and there was a variety of styles on display. Defenders who chopped or blocked or lobbed or fished, and counter hitters, topspin attackers and combination players. Matches were the best of 5 games, and there were 9 matches in each league fixture. All the fixtures started at 7:30 p.m, although there was approximately 15 minutes warm-up time beforehand. The last fixture finished at approximately 10:20. Teams taking part in 4 out of the 6 matches in our summer league that night agreed to be filmed and to be interviewed. Our table tennis centre has a girl floor table tennis floor. The hall is split into 6 playing areas separated by table tennis barriers. The tables are Joola 3000 SC tables. And no, unfortunately, we're not sponsored by Joola or any other table manufacturer. And the hall is air conditioned with the temperature set at 19 degrees C. And these are the walls, which are going to be a good test for these balls. One plastic, one celluloid. So we should get a good idea of how they last. After the matches, I collected the players together and asked them a variety of questions. This is what they had to say. Our results. Did you notice a difference between Joola's plastic and celluloid balls? And if yes, what? Did you notice a difference?
Yeah, noticed a difference. To me, the ball felt slower, and there's a different sound to it. So I initially preferred the feel of a normal ball for me.
Anybody else?
I didn't notice much in the rallies, but when I had the ball in my hand, I felt it seemed to be lighter. The new ball seemed lighter. And
which one seemed lighter?
The new one seemed lighter. The plastic ball seemed lighter than the old balls. But in the rallies, I didn't notice any discernible difference.
Anybody else?
I agree with that, really. I think exactly the same. In rallies, I didn't really notice any difference.
And I think it feels heavier. But that might just be me.
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
I think it feels heavier. It certainly bounces more of a dull thud.
Yeah.
And it isn't the same trajectory as the original.
I think
it bounces lower.
I agree. It's lower in the rally. So when you play your shot, to me, when you're playing your shot, it's more noticeable. As in, if you don't give it as much, it's less chance of getting over the net. That's how it feels.
So are you saying it's not as spinny, or it's not as fast, or
it's not as fast? It's not as fast. It feels heavier to play with, whether it is or not. That's the way it feels.
You're a top spinner. Did you find it okay to spin with or not?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm saying it feels heavy when you're knocking with it. When I was practicing, it was noticeable, and I'd say I didn't like the feel of it. But when I was in the rallies in the game, I've got to be honest, I didn't notice it as much. So,
Jack?
I just thought it was like playing with a dead bat. So I felt it was like, what?
The plastic ball?
Yeah, like just playing with it felt dead really. I felt like I had to give it more of a loop to get it over the net.
So not as spinny for you?
So not as spinny, no.
What about speed-wise?
Speed, didn't notice the difference. Speed.
Not much difference? Weight-wise?
No.
Just sound? No. Matt?
I felt it was a bit slower while I was playing, and a little bit heavier, but other than that, it was just felt no more different than the other.
No difference? No difference in the sound?
Not to me.
Difference the differences very quickly.
Slower.
The weight doesn't come through the same.
Less spinny.
Spin.
Floats more.
And it floats more. Okay.
Yes, we did notice a difference.
What was that?
The ball was slightly slower, and it doesn't stay hit when you smash it.
This is the plastic ball.
That's the plastic ball, yes.
Does everybody agree with that?
Initially, when you first play with it, yeah. But I think later on, you don't notice it. You adapt. I think you just adapt to it.
So there's not a massive difference?
Not a massive thing, but initially, yeah.
Yeah, you notice when you change in between the balls, that's when you notice it.
When you change in between the balls, that's when you notice it?
Yeah, but if you were just playing with the one ball, it's only because you're used to playing with the other one that you notice the difference. It's a tad slower, but...
So you're talking, it's a little bit slower. Spin-wise, could you get as much spin with a new ball?
Don't know, you couldn't dig a chop more, could you? The chops, I couldn't...
Slightly less on the spin side.
I didn't notice any difference, really.
Hattie?
Well, I noticed that it was a lot harder to top spin the ball with the plastic one.
Was there a difference in the bounce at all?
Not that I noticed.
No. I noticed a slightly higher bounce with the plastic one, yes.
Tony?
The ball seemed to pull up, so it appeared to be slower because it pulled up and maybe bounced a little higher down. But
feel-wise, did it feel heavier or lighter? Or?
No, yeah, sounded yeah.
In what way?
Don't know. It's
like tinny.
Yeah.
I'm deaf, so it wasn't that much difference. I'm a bit deaf, so it didn't sound that much different, but there's a little tinny noise to me.
Will you change your equipment because of the plastic ball? Do you think you'll change your rubbers to take account of this difference?
No, I'll just adapt to the ball.
Maybe a softer rubber, but my rubber's very soft already, but that's the only thing I can think of to get more spin.
But you're not going to go all rushing out and get a new rubber?
I don't think so, not at the moment, no.
Mark, you use lots of different rubbers. Would you change?
Not at the moment, but I'm hoping that by the time it's absolutely necessary to use it, they improve it enough so that it's, yeah.
You won't tell much difference then if they improve the ball.
Yeah. It's a lot better than the one that came over last year. A lot better.
And I definitely won't change your bat because I just play.
You're not going to change?
No.
In terms of rubbers, would you change your rubbers to take account of this new ball?
No.
Too early to tell for me. Tonight we're changing from Celluloid to the polybat, the polyball, every time. After every game, I think you'd have to be more consistent with the polyball before I actually made that decision.
But you're not going to rush out and buy these new rubbers?
No, not at all.
Robert?
I don't think that warrants that at the moment, simply because there's not as much change as we thought there may be.
If I was to, I'd get a spinnier rubber though. If I was to, I'd get a spinnier rubber.
Because you don't find it as spinny to play
Yeah.
with? Yeah. Okay. Robert, would you change your rubber?
No, I wouldn't. I'd use the ball in practice so I can get used to the ball all the time, and then I'd leave it for probably about 2 months of practice of it, and then I'd decide whether to get new rubbers. But I'm not going to rush out and buy them straight away.
Well, tonight I played with the new rubbers for the first time, in competitive match. So it was like playing. Well, it's difficult to say what it would have been like playing with against an old ball, as against a new ball. So it was completely new and fresh to me.
Having played with the plastic ball, would you change your equipment, or are you happy with what you've got?
I'd stick with what I've got.
Yeah, I'm happy with what I've got, yes.
I'm happy with what I've got as well.
I'm on the pension, I can't afford another bat.
Okay, and will you be changing your equipment when this new ball comes in?
No.
No.
No. No, I don't see any reason to change the equipment. I'll keep playing the same way. I might have to adapt a little bit, but not enough to have to consider changing what we play with her in.
I think it's like anything else. The more you play with it, the more you get used to it. If that was the only ball you could use, and after 2 or 3 weeks, you wouldn't want to probably not go back to the old one. It's just something new.
Change your equipment or not?
No, I wouldn't change my equipment. I don't see why there's any point, really. You just have to adapt, don't you?
Which ball do you prefer?
The normal one.
I think we've got to clean our act up, and I've thought that for a long time, so I'm pleased that all the glues and the cellulose items are all going out of the game.
So you prefer the plastic one?
I don't prefer the plastic one. I prefer the fact that environmentally it's friendlier, and we must be seen from a table tennis perspective that we're a clean sport.
Well, going it, what? I prefer the old ball because I'm used to it, but I'd probably change my mind if I get used to the new ball. So,
Andy?
Yeah, whatever ball we play, we'll all adapt to it. Like we changed, whatever the 30-inch. What did we play with before?
38.
38, yeah, and we soon adapted to that. So I'm sure everybody will soon adapt to the new ball.
Okay. Which did you prefer? Sorry, can you just move in a bit?
I'm not bothered.
Not bothered, Patty?
I'm not bothered really, but if I was to choose, I'd say the Joola one would be...
They're both Joola. Which one, the plastic one or the celluloid one?
The celluid one.
The celluloid one.
Makes no difference. I'm happy to adjust to the slightly slower one, but I don't think it makes that much. You have to adjust your game and get used to the ball.
I think I prefer the old one, but only because I'm used to playing with it. So it's you'd adapt, like you said.
Which did you prefer?
I prefer the normal one.
Because
it's a lot faster than the plastic one, I think.
Jack?
Yeah, normal one. Yeah, so you don't have, yeah.
Because?
Just faster, just easier.
I prefer the normal one just because, like anyone, we don't like changing it, so it just feels right. But just the sound and what I'm used to in terms of when I snap it or hit it, there's a certain sound to it. The other one just doesn't feel as quick at the moment, but I'm not saying I can get used to it.
Okay, George?
Perhaps because I'm a defender and all these lads are attackers, I'm the one who seems to be out of step. But I didn't notice a great deal of difference playing with either of them. I was quite happy with them both.
You could play with them both?
I could play with them both, and apart from the fact that, to me, it felt lighter, but only when I was holding it in my hand.
Andrew?
And I prefer the new ball, because I never liked the coming back to playing with a 40mm ball.
So you prefer the new ball?
I prefer the new ball, yeah, definitely. It's probably slower.
Yeah, it is slower.
And it doesn't bounce quite as high.
Okay.
No, I play with whatever he's giving me. I mean, I didn't really feel much difference, to be honest.
Which did you prefer to play with?
Well, the one that we're used to. I would prefer to play
Celluloid?
with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think so, probably, yeah.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah, definitely.
I think I'd go to plastic. Probably not now, but once it's improved. But I like the plastic ball.
You're more of a counter hitter, aren't you?
Yeah, but it suited me.
Okay. Which style do you think it suits? Do you think it suits any particular style, this new ball?
I hope it helps the defender and takes something away from the attacker.
So it just slows the game down.
Well, yeah, it suits the defender because the ball's coming slower. It's more floatier, so for an attacker, it's not what you want, is it? As a defender.
And majority of players these days are attackers as well. So it don't really suit most people's games.
Sounds good news for me then, because I'm a defender, so I might be doing all right with this new ball. Yeah.
Do you think it'll suit different styles?
I think what'll happen is that if you practice long enough with it, you'll adapt to it. You probably your game will have to change, but it's if it's inevitable, I suppose we'd better have a go.
I think it's probably suited to people who hit the ball flat. Possibly short pimple players are going to get the benefit from it.
Does it surprise you, and are you happy with it? Does it surprise you? Are you happy with that, or?
Not surprising, no. Yeah.
If we have to change, we have to change.
But you're not going to lose
see why
any.
they're trying to keep it the same as well, because otherwise everyone would complain, wouldn't they?
So that's similar enough to not bother you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Probably in 2 years' time, you won't notice any difference in the ball. If you start playing with it, you'll just adapt to it like we adapted to a bigger ball from the smaller ball than what we used to have.
I was hoping it'd feel exactly the same, and it does feel different. So you'd prefer it just felt exactly the same, but I just think, like anything, you don't like to change things. So I guess if it was enforced now and we had to start using that new ball, I don't think it'd be a massive deal for me.
I think possibly moving from one ball to the other between games you see the difference. Whereas if you were just playing with one ball throughout the night, I think you'd very soon get used to it.
Absolutely.
I just can't. It was going to be a ball without seam, and so it was going to play slightly different. It's got a seam. It virtually plays the same. What's the point?
Does it worry you that you might have to be playing with that?
Not at all.
No.
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 So you can adapt to it and you're quite happy enough?
Yeah.
Let's hope we can.
But generally speaking, you're quite happy with it?
Yeah, quite happy. We can adjust it.
Like say if you've got to change,
you've got to change, you've got to change, that's it.
I'm pretty flexible what ball I play with, as long as it does its job.
And that does the job?
Yes.
Our conclusions. So there you have it. Bottom line, yes, the differences were there. Spin, speed, how it felt coming off the bat, bounce, did it come through? But none of the players thought that they wouldn't be able to adapt to these plastic balls in a couple of weeks. And importantly for us, and possibly not too much good news for the manufacturers, none of the players will rush out and buy new equipment to take account of the changes that this plastic ball might bring. So now we've done the T3 testing and we've added human interaction as well. That's it, job done. Well, no, not quite. All the players in tonight's video knew that they'd be using the celluloid and the plastic ball in the matches, and they knew when they were changing. And quite often opinions or perceptions can have an impact on how you think a ball performs. So if you were to turn around and say, you just played a game with a plastic ball.
You told me it wasn't plastic.
I know I
swapped
did.
them.
Yes, I swapped them. Now what's your opinion? No, I'm not saying anybody lied tonight. That would be completely wrong of me. But there is what's called a placebo effect possibly at work. And to test that, well, that's going to be in our second video. Humans and placebo testing. Thank you for watching.